welcome back to another edition of Gary's Record Collection. This time out, we are going back to the archives, an album that was released on October 22nd, 1969, Led Zeppelin II. Probably my favorite album of all time. The Brown Bomber had the hit Whole Lotta Love on it, had most of the songs on there were hits, very famous. You'd always hear them on FM radio, Heartbreaker, Living Loving Maid, Ramble On, etc., etc. Not a bad song in the bunch. So this time out, what we're doing is some of the multi-track tapes actually escaped the vaults several years ago. So we have multi-track tapes, which means that instead of stereo left-right, you've got, in this case, 8 tracks on one tape, probably a half-inch tape. And you have, right now, this is what it looks like. There it is. We've loaded it into Adobe Audition. You have the guitar 1, guitar 2. This is for Whole Lotta Love. The bass, drums right, drums left, percussion, vocals 1, and vocals 2. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through some of this and listen to this and point out some of the things that happened within the song on the different tracks. So let's start right off. Whole Lotta Love. And by the way, the cough there, the little is right on the vocals track. Let's back up and listen to this real quick. Now, whether that was he was laughing at something or that was just that was intended, I don't know, but it's on the vocal track. So there you go. That's where that's laying. And they decided to leave it in. Stop there real quick. 2 things to point out. One is that the chorus of Want a Whole Lotta Love is on a separate track. So here we go. We're going to back this right up. And this is what it sounds like.
Want a whole lot of love. Want a whole lot of love. Want a whole lot of love. Want a whole lot of love.
That's Robert Plant and Jimmy Page doing that. The other thing, we didn't hear the backwards descending echo, which is a trademark of this song. This is actually on guitar track number 2, and I had it muted for a reason. I want to go back and listen to it in solo mode so you can hear what's everything that's on there. So we'll pick it up and then I'll solo it. This is back up a little bit. And we're going to solo it. That's cool, and we're going to boost the volume up on that. And another burst of this is coming up here. And then that's where they got that backward echo from. Although it was just him sliding down on the guitar, and it was just really distorted. They probably put some more echo on it too. Now, one other thing that I discovered while listening to this is we know the vocals. We know the vocals by heart. If you listen in the background on this track, on the guitar 2 track, you can hear through the headphones Robert Plant's original vocal. So here we go. Let me back it up and we'll play it again. So this is interesting too, because this, if you've heard the alternate version that came out in 2014 of Led Zeppelin II, there was a rough mix of Whole Lotta Love, but it had a mostly completely different vocal track. And that's what you're hearing now on the bleed on guitar track number 2. However, that vocal track is not on vocal track 1 or 2, so that was erased. That is gone. I guess they decided that was not the vocal take that they wanted. They weren't happy with it, and they erased it and went over the top of it with obviously something that's turned out to be much better. But it is interesting that you can hear that in the guitar from the headphones. So let's go ahead a little bit. I'm going to mute that effects channel again, and we'll pick it up just as the music is ending, going into the middle first section. So what's interesting here is with the 2 tracks of percussion, they've got they've got 3, drums right, drums left, and a percussion track. That percussion track, they actually muted or had it at 0 and then started fading it in as as it was going through this middle section. It did not start on right at the beginning. You hear some of those guitar effects too. I'm going to go back and we're going to back up a little bit, and we'll turn on the guitar track number 2. So I get the feeling that they were just trying anything. They were like throwing it all in and see what they could come up with. A lot of this on the guitar track 2 is not on the final product. So we're going to mute that guitar track 2 for the moment. Bring that guitar track 2 back on. Of course, in the great solo too. We need to go back and listen to that in solo mode. A lot of compression on there. That dynamic range is just crushed. It sounds just very compact. Chorus on vocals track number 2.
baby. Way down. Way.
And there's multiple takes of the way down inside line. So let's go back because first of all, one of the famous things on this is the reverse echo in this section. And Jimmy Page always said, well, they just flip the tape and backwards and they put echo on it. But if you listen to, remember we were listening to guitar track number 2, and that was from the rough mix that we eventually heard on the 2014 companion disc reissue. That original vocal track is there. So we're going to solo that, and we're going to boost that up so we can hear it, and we're going to play it and listen to this. Now it kind of sounds the same, but it's not. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the other vocal track, the main vocal track that they kept. We'll back it up.
Way down inside. Woman, you need.
So all they did was they just boosted the volume of guitar track 2 and brought that in and just claimed that it was an echo. But it wasn't. It was a remnant. It was the microphone picking up through the headphones while Jimmy Page was laying down effects on guitar track 2. One other thing that I noticed here is that the timing, they pulled up the break here. Let's listen to this real quick.
Woman, you need.
We'll go back because I have the wrong track soloed. We're going to mute vocals 2 because that did not make the final mix, right?
You need.
Bum, bum. No. They pulled that up, those couple of beats, just to make it a little bit tighter. That guitar track.
Shake for me, girl. I wanna be your backdoor man. Hey, oh, hey.
Now the interesting part on this section is the Shake For Me Girl section all the way through the end. That is actually the original vocal track, which you will hear on the Rough Mix Companion from 2014. So everything up until that point, they wiped and did it again. Then after that, they say, you know what, the last part of it we like, so we're going to keep that in, which they did. And for some reason, they duplicated it on vocal track number 2. Don't know why.
Keep it coolin', baby. I keep it coolin', baby. I keep it coolin', baby. I keep it coolin', baby.
This is where it fades out. And here's what's on after that fade. It was probably good that they faded that out because that ending was kind of rough sounding. Later, of course, when they would play it live, they worked out a real ending, quote unquote, which they used all the way through the band's career and even at the O2 reunion show in 2007. So a very interesting way to examine it. This was one of 4 tracks that were released. You had Whole Lotta Love, What Is and What Should Never Be, Heartbreaker, and Ramble On, all released on the underground market, as it were. So fans could listen to this, and if you had any kind of audio software, you could load it in and you could make your own mix. You could isolate the channels, whatever you like. I mean, I, for one, had the Whole Lotta Love guitar solo as my ringtone for a while. It was great. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So there you go. Lots that is revealed within 8 tracks of rock and roll. It's one of the greatest songs ever recorded. So there you go. Whole Lotta Love, the multi-track sessions. We'll see you next time on Gary's Record Collection.